So I'm gonna play 40 seconds of intro track while we trying to get our lives together. Intro track while we trying to get our
All right.
One of these days, I'm gonna just snatch my wig off on camera. I can afford it.
No, we live, right?
I bet you won't.
What? I bet you won't.
I bet you won't. I bet you won't.
I bet you won't.
Oh my God. What am I gonna do with my peoples? What's up, y'all? We here. We've been ready to set up our watch parties and we will be ready to go.
Get with it.
Where is
Okay,
my
there I go. I did it. I'm good.
There it is.
I'm a little slow today.
So, Keela, if you ever do that, our views are gonna go through the roof.
You know that.
Hey, I swear to God.
Do it for the
Y'all can go on TikTok and look at Keela's video. She was like, I look like this. I look like this.
I saw that too.
Hey,
I look like this.
Why you playing? I just haven't done it yet. I'm gonna duet that one. That is the one I want to duet.
You should.
Hey, Aaron. How you doing, Aaron?
That shit is
Just
hilarious.
getting started. Hope you had a great day.
I look like this. I look like this. Dizzy and Candace need. As a matter of fact, all y'all need to do it.
I don't do
Got
TikTok.
so many damn pictures.
I don't do TikTok.
I don't do talk.
Do a video regardless. I don't give a shit. Look like this.
Greg, you're trying to get rid of TikTok anyway, so
I know, right?
he
they be
big
hating
mad.
on his ass on there.
He big mad.
They be hating on him. They be giving Trump so much shade on TikTok.
So is there any truth that Trump said something negative today? He always said something negative, but is there any truth about Trump saying something condescending again about us?
Yeah, well, he said he was gonna shut down TikTok as of Saturday. Last time I checked, we still had it.
I know I still got all my views and followers.
Well, he didn't say what Saturday.
Well, they're talking about it.
Well, why he wants to shut it
He's
in?
good for a play on words.
You know it has something to do with money.
So there was some proceedings that happened a couple of months ago. Look, we ain't even started the show, but let me talk on that. There was some proceedings a couple of months ago that the app, that the Whatchu got, that the TikTok app. Oh, hold on, we gotta turn some sound down because.
Well, he didn't say what Saturday.
Well, they're talking about it.
Well, why he wants to shut it
He's
in?
good for a play on words.
Why do I not know how to turn this down? So there was some proceedings that happened a couple of months ago.
Oh!
Look. All right.
I started laughing earlier because I heard that feedback earlier.
I was like, who is that? Yeah, so yes, there were some proceedings a couple of months ago. They're trying to say that TikTok, so TikTok is China, made in China, Japan, something wherever. I don't know. It's made somewhere else. So what they basically, China. Okay, so they feel that because so many people have this app, that there are security issues with the app that are, you know, basically tracking the exact same stuff that the United States government is tracking through our phones. The same stuff they're tracking, they mad because China can track it too. That's basically in general what it is. They don't like that they're able to infiltrate our stuff. But I really think Trump's direct issue with it is he don't like all them TikToks talking trash about it for real.
I know.
He be on his head, yo.
He's still big mad about that Tulsa rally. Aren't old enough to vote yet.
Right, but they are destroying, exactly.
They killing him. They killing him because, like we said in a previous show, these are the kids that are going to change and make the change in the world. And they are already paying attention so much that they are. How do you heckle a fucking president as a generation?
The entire generation. All right, so we're going to say, hey, what's up to Rodney? Hey, Miss Levator. We got two people on this line. Hey, Lisa. We got Lisa on the line watching.
Hey, Michelle. Hey, Ralph. Tiffany.
We got Crystal, Petra on the phone.
Cool beans. All right, so we are going to start the session. So, hey y'all, what's up? This your girl Dizzy, and welcome to the next episode of Whatchu Got to Say Live. I got my crazy co-host in the building. What's up, Miss Keela Mahogany?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
And what's up, my boy Tyrone Gregory?
Hey, get it.
And what's up, Mr. Cabana Black?
Hey, I'm that dude.
And last certainly not least, Miss Cool Candace.
Hey y'all.
Candace. Can we call it Girl Candace?
Get it.
All right, so today's What You Got to Say topic is going to be about Black gun ownership, or maybe even overall gun ownership. So we're going to talk about what are your views on gun ownership, what's your views on gun laws, do you own a gun, why or why not, are you affiliated with a gun club, and all those things. So if you are interested in partaking in our conversation, you can hit us up in our lives, hit us up in our messages. We are watching you while you are watching us.
Yes.
So any of our watch parties, the What You Got to Say Facebook page, and any of our watch parties, you can put your comments in and we will read them live online and also respond to them. So who would like to be the first to respond to the gun question?
Ooh. Let me start.
Okay, go ahead. Never mind.
So I wanted to have this conversation because I have a lot of questions about guns. I've been living in Germany for the past 10 years, and guns aren't an issue over there. We're not talking about them every day. You don't have people, brandishing them, carrying them, or speaking about them openly as an everyday occurrence, also as a way of protecting themselves or just flat out killing each other. So when I came back over here, when we moved back over here recently, that is now all that I hear. And now that the pandemic is going on, it's as it like people are stockpiling on ammunition. And then with us fighting for social justice, I just felt like maybe a lot of the conversations that were being had around gun control, around gun ownership, I didn't hear a lot of Black people speaking about it. And so I didn't know why. And so I wanted to come and ask everyone, I wanted to come and ask my co-host how they felt about it, because I think that we also need to be speaking about, practicing our Second Amendment rights. And so that's really what it is. Being licensed to be able to carry, conceal carry, open carry, so that you at least exercise your right. Not that you have to own a gun, not that you even have to store it anywhere in your house or anything like that. This can be something that you go to, gun ranges and just practice, and it can be used as a way to defend yourself. That's what it is meant for. And so I just wanted to have the conversation so that we can see how people felt about it and just bring more awareness around it.
Okay. We got some more people to actually join. Good Lord. Okay. What's up, James? What's up, Christian, Rebecca, and Sunshine, and Tatasike, and Ronnie, and Maricela, and Marvin, and Freddie, and Krista, and Aaron. Good Lord. Ronnie, Bobby, Rick, and Mike Brown. What's up, y'all? Thank y'all for watching. Please put any of your comments, questions, concerns. We're talking about gun control, gun ownership, gun safety, why we need it, why we don't. What are your thoughts? What you got, Tyrone?
Oh, my bad. What up, Carrie? Hey, Carrie's here.
Hey, Carrie.
All right. So, no, I agree with what you're saying, though, Candace. Like, we need to have, more understanding. Like, people are not looking at it like it's to protect their home, because a lot of people out here are just carrying them to carry them. They got them to have them. Oh, I got a beef with this person. I don't want to fight. I'm going to shoot that motherfucker. You know what I mean? But we really do need to have protection. But at the same time, it's like practice, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do I say? Do it smartly. Like I got mine. I'm a concealed carrier. I did it the right way. I take my kids. I train my kids. I take my wife. I train my wife. You know what I'm saying? I was trained by the government, so shit, hell, I must have something right.
Right.
Doing it the correct way. Now there's people out here that, come on, man. They go to these gun shows. Gun shows, all you got to do is have a license. That's it. You can go in there and walk out with no goddamn background check at all.
Is it difficult to get a license?
Say again?
Is it difficult? Like, is the process to get a license
I
difficult?
swear it's not. I sat in the classroom for 6 hours, 8 hours. Then I went down to the range. Hell, I used a 22 to do my test with. I carry a 45. 22 is easier to hit the target on.
Yeah.
It's not difficult at all. And then law enforcement teaches the class.
Okay.
So like I said, it's all a matter of, like you said, people brandishing weapons for no reason. They out here, they tough guys, but they can't use these. They want to go straight to the gun. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of problems with that, but I still believe, like you said, it's our Second Amendment. We should all be able to.
As long as it's there. If they're not going to put, the regulations on it like it should, I think, in order to protect your home, protect yourself, it is your right. No problem with exercising it. Having, more Black people in the industry, being able to make a living off of it, you know what I'm saying? Just so they can bring it back to their communities, and then teach other people how to do it, do proper training, like you said, do it the right way. Don't just have it, but, practice it so that you are actually trained on it. It can be, maybe it's a self-defense, tool that you use inside your home.
I mean,
Right.
America has an army, right? Why we can't have an army in our house?
What's up, Candace? What you got?
Hey Marcus. He had a comment saying, get your license, your gun license, and pay attention to the regulations that are not just federally, but make sure you're aware of what's going on in your neighborhood and in your cities and in the county as well. Getting a gun, I think it is necessary for you to be able to exercise your Second Amendment right. But at the same time, gun safety is priority. And teaching, people within your household the proper tactics and the proper use of it, not to just have it and be waving it around or, showing it off to your homies because this is what you got or this is what you just went out. No, you can use it as home defense or to protect yourself, not as a means to, this is going to be my go-to first time something pop off. No, use your words first. Like, that's your first defense. But like, if you can talk a situation down, if you can de-escalate a situation without having to bring out a weapon, by all means, do that first, because there is a lot of gun violence out there. However, some people, you just can't calm down and they want to be Billy Badass. So you going to catch this hot iron in your ass and you're going to be limping back to the house. Just
True.
When you say gangster shit like that, it fucks me up every time. It does. I just have to tell you that.
So I will say, when I was coming up, when I became of age, I did get a gun. I was licensed, I'm not anymore. So I did get a gun for protection because it was just me and my homegirl that lived in our apartment together. And so, and where we lived, where our first apartment was not necessarily the most upstanding place in our Hampton Roads area. So we were like, hey, this is what we can afford, but you got to keep the strap. So let's go ahead and get the strap. Never had to use it, never even had to discharge it, but we had it as a just in case. When it got time when I moved into my house, after our apartment, kept the gun. Didn't want to go through the issues of doing whatever it was I needed to do, or even find out what I needed to do to bring my gun to Germany. But I'm like, it's Germany. What I need a gun for real. So I sold it, and then went to Germany. So didn't need a gun and didn't even have the remote need for a gun in Germany, but I did miss practicing with my gun and so on and so forth. So I used to go to the Rod and Gun Club on base on Vogelway and yeah, I know, right? And go and shoot, especially when I was like mad stressed out, because there is just this release at the range that comes over you when you're able to handle, a piece of, artillery like that. So it was kind of like just a stress reliever. Coming back to the States, I have not felt the need of needing a gun again until now. right
Please
now.
explain. Let's explain, please.
Okay, until now. And when I say now, I will say I have felt that I need to have a firearm now because the current leader of our country, I feel, has given a pass to for people to intentionally act ignorant in the United States of America. I think that not everyone, I think that a lot of ignorant individuals feel that they are untouchable, that they can say and do what they want to people. And a lot of times the people that they are doing it to and targeting look like me. And so when I see especially such high amounts of violence in such a short period of time, like this past 6 to 8 months, it's like, okay, so we all have targets on our back, but if you kick in my door and I'm Breonna Taylor, I have no way to protect myself, my family, my husband. I mean, my kids, my dog. I can't do anything but be the scared bitch in the scary movie and go to the closet. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, what am I do? Yeah. What am I supposed to do? And it's been an ongoing conversation in my house because my husband is anti-firearm. My husband does not. He does not mess with firearms. In his mind, if you have to resort to a gun, in his eyes, you are weak. You are weak if you have to go to a gun. You use these first. You use this first. You talk, well, you use this first. Your brain and your mind, your mouth, use that first. Then you use your hands if it gets to that point. But in his culture, nobody's really going for a firearm. And he's like, I'll have a machete, which we own. He's like, I'll have a machete. Yeah, but I'm not doing a gun. And so that's a constant conversation in my house because I do want my son to learn gun safety and how to shoot. I want my daughter to learn the same thing because at the end of the day, my husband's not going to be there when they face certain situations on their own. And I want them to be able to do that after using the brain and the mouth. They're going to take what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Y'all teach that way. And that's what I'm saying about doing it properly. Y'all teach the fact that that's what do it. Right. But there's so many people who don't teach that though. That's who I need to protect my children from. The ones who are not taught that. Mm-hmm. Because so same thing.
Got a lot of people that aren't taught that. So if I'm bringing my children up to talk to de-escalate a situation, and you're teaching your children to just walk in with fists ready to start boxing, this is two different dynamics. And then you got somebody else who's coming in from the other side with their gun first. Well, for starters, we all know you don't show up to a gunfight with a knife. That's first thing. But but how are you supposed to know that this is the person that you're sparring with or talking to or whatever, but they don't want to talk. They're coming in brandishing their weapon and they're ready to shoot first and ask questions later. And then with me living in Texas, that's exactly what they do. They shoot first and ask questions later. Mm-hmm. I did a question. One of my friends, Marcus, he said, as Black people, do y'all feel that it's safer to carry and conceal or to open carry?
I would open. I don't want to have to reach for nothing. I want to be able to walk through Walmart like Billy Bob with my gun right here, present. I got it.
Yeah, but if you got it out like that, this is just what I've noticed perception wise. I rather conceal because see, if you don't know I have it, you're gonna be yourself. If you know I have it, you're gonna watch your mouth. So say what the fuck you gonna say.
No, watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth. Well, no, I won't say it like that. I'm not saying I would wear it like that bully shit. That's not what I'm talking about.
Well,
If my Second Amendment right says I have the right to bear arms and I don't have to conceal it, I don't want there to be any confusion that I'm reaching for my wallet, my cell phone, or my gun. You see what I'm saying? You already know I have it. So the cop don't even have to ask me, do you have a weapon? Sure do. It's right there. Go ahead and get it. It's right there. You know I got a gun. You ain't even had to ask me that question.
Right. Why are you even asking me?
Why you ask me? You see it right here versus it's
Same time. I think you a target.
I got my boy Brunson on here. My boy B. He said open carry gives the perception of a threatening nature.
Because of how I am, or because of Billy Bob in Walmart?
It's not.
Because your black, like I said. Because of your black skin, you got this gun, whether you're planning on using it or not. But because you got it open and they can see it, oh, you're threatening because you have a gun. I can have it strapped to my back. I can't get to it immediately because I got to make a couple extra moves to get it to the front. However, because you have it and because you showing your black skin that you can't cover and hide, that makes you a target. And that's just my personal opinion. I've seen
I'm already a target.
But that's why it should be seen more often. I think that right there.
Normalize it.
Yeah, normalize it.
You're right, because when I say Billy Bob, it's not coming from a place of hate. I want to make sure when I'm saying Billy Bob, I'm not saying from a place of hate. It's just that that's what's normalized.
Right.
Nobody bats an eye when your WASP male, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant male, is walking through Walmart that's what a WASP is, just in case you didn't know. WASP male is walking through anywhere with an open with his legal guns showing it because it's normalized. You're used to seeing it, so it's not a problem. I'm already going to be a threat walking through Walmart because I'm almost 6 feet and over 200 pounds. So you're already going to be threatened by me. So that's what I'm saying. That's just my choice. I would not want to have to pull it from anywhere if I'm stopped by the cops. I don't want to have to pull it from anywhere. I got it. It's present. It's right there. It's here.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like the option to conceal if I have to. But I would not have a problem with open carry. No.
I don't either, but I do think I don't have a problem with open carry. I just think that makes us a bigger target if that's what you're doing, just because of the climate of our culture right now. I have seen where some people, there was this one guy, him and his friend, one was white, one was black. They're best friends, and they were doing a social experiment. The white dude and the black guy was off in the corner recording. He was down the street a little bit, and he walked for 2 blocks with this I think it was a M16
on his rifle. Mm-hmm.
He was just walking down the street with it. Cops drove by, people were walking by on the other side of the street, nothing happened. He walked for 2 blocks, nobody batted an eye. So they switched positions. The white guy started recording, and he handed his M16 to his black friend. His black friend didn't get 100 feet before one cop pulled up, another cop pulled up, and there were 2 more on the other side of the street. They got out with their guns out, telling him, put your hands in the air where I can see him. And he's like, hey, I have a gun license. It's okay. I'm legally able to carry this. This is an open carry state. I'm legally able to hold my gun.
And shut your mouth. You can have a rifle.
They were both of age. They were both in their 20s, but they were quick. Get your hands up where I can see them. Get down on the ground. Spread your feet. Shut up talking. Everything.
Yeah.
And the only thing they say is, I gotta ask you a question. I'm asking you a question.
That gun.
Fuck out of here.
Agreed, but that also can happen to us without walking up the street with a gun.
Touché.
That part.
Please, Kamana, say what you're thinking, because your eyes are talking.
Kamana is trying to bring some. He want to bring some balance into.
He about to bring balance to the conversation. Come on, Kamana.
His
No,
face
it's
is
not that. I'm just trying to listen because it's important for me to listen because I'm the person that is like Dizzy's husband. I do not believe in guns. I do not want to carry a gun. I have no desire. I do want to, now understand it. I absolutely get it. And I am going to get myself ready to go to a range and do those things because I understand it, but it will be to the very last letter before it enters my home. And the only reason I'm saying some things because a lot of the stuff that I'm hearing, not what you're saying, but the circumstances and the situations that you're saying, I'm realizing just like anything in America, not Germany and overseas, but in America is butt backwards. Number one, a person like myself, there's lots of people like me that would feel uncomfortable, period, seeing a gun. When I see a gun openly on somebody, I don't care what color you are. I am backing away. My nerves are broken because I don't know your mental state of mind. I believe that a gun is a weapon, point blank and period. And I think that sometimes we don't describe things for what they are, and we try to put Disney games on things that are not Disney games. Mm-hmm. When I'm gonna say what changed my mind, I walked in the house, opened the door for my dad to go in the house, just like I regularly do. My dad has a gun. He has a couple of them. But in this moment, he pulled the gun out, and I was the one coming through the door. What if he would have thought just a second, not like late or early, and shot that thing? And I'll never forget that moment when I was looking at him and I was like, you won't see me for a couple of weeks. And I meant that thing. And it wasn't like I was joking. I was dead serious because I had to think about that thing because I had to come back to him. I said, you can't be doing that kind of stuff. Because when you get a weapon, when you get a gun, when you shoot a gun, something happens. I don't care what nobody says. Just like Dizzy was saying, there's something you like, and excuse me, I'm not saying like I'm against what you're saying, but when you saying you releasing some tension, I'm like release tension bowling and skating. When I think about a gun, it is a weapon. And when I think about what happens to our people, I get kind of emotional because that weapon is killing our people. And then when I think about how, the rifle, first of all, the key thing that even Candace was saying as far as like cops showed up. Yes, they ignored the white dude and people let him pass. People let him pass and all stuff. But the cops sometimes are the main people that show the biggest amount of racism for the whole world. And I'm not saying that the world is not racist, but that main example that you gave, you pointed out that cops showed up everywhere. And first of all, nobody of any color should be carrying a rifle down the street. And I feel like when you are an open carrier, I don't think it's just like black thing. I know it's a black thing, but I think you bring judgment, period, because people's mind goes to think, why? If you are just the regular American. Now, going back to what Keela says, I think that we live in a time, like myself, I'm going to get registered. I'm going to get the thing, but I'm not going to have it in my home. Not just yet. I can't handle that because then I take on the responsibility. And I think that's what everybody needs to know that's even watching this. And I do want to hear feedback that you're taking on the responsibility of something that can kill somebody. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's on accident and not on purpose. I know if I had kids, it would be the hardest thing for me to be Dizzy because I definitely would be her husband because my thought would be, what if my daughter picks it up and I'm not around and they figure out the unlock? I know it's got the thing, but some people don't leave the bullets. And some people leave the bullets. Some people are not thinking and they'll hide their guns. So it's all these kind of things that I think about when I think about guns. I'm almost done. But I just want people to understand, like, I'm not against it. I'm just more so trying to make sense of it, because it's just like, and even the fact that you said, Greg, that it was so easy to get one, that's absurd. Just like I feel like we said before, a cop should not become a cop so easy. Period.
They just do 12 weeks or 20 weeks or some shit like that.
Yeah, a cop becomes everybody. It's like when it comes to being a cop, a doctor, a nurse, excuse me, i.e. the president, it should be education. It should be a road to it. Just like in the driver's license, you got to go take a test. You got to do this, and if you fail, you got to retest.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that easy, but because, like, what was the phrase you said, Dizzy? Swap? What you call them? Wasp. The good old boys. And the Dukes of Hazzard and all these TV shows, we make it so entertaining. Guns is not entertainment. And that's the thing that, for me, I've always said. It can be, and let me explain this to let me explain it.
For some people, it's a hobby. Well, hold on, because we got a lot. Nobody's saying comments, but we got a lot of people.
I've been having.
Well, let me say this last part. When I say it is not entertainment, it is not entertainment because the end result, what comes out of it, is not actually that safe.
Yeah.
It'd be different if you could shoot me and I could get up. Just like those people that get those rubber, what is it?
Rubber bullets.
That's not entertainment. And they shooting them like crazy and people going blind. They are.
Oh, you talking about airsoft.
The things the cops are shooting and they.
The rubber bullets.
Yeah.
Rubber bullets.
They're damaging. So what I'm saying is, yes, it can be thrilling and it can be exciting and it could be a release, but everyone has to understand entertainment is something that you could do safely at all times, 24 hours of the day. That's entertainment. The definition. What you make as entertainment, you can make cheating entertainment. Shoot. If you enjoy it, you could cheat every single day. But really, the definition of cheating is not entertainment. So that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm so holding back, because I'm so.
Because you still listening. You're still figuring. Got you. Go ahead, Greg.
I do agree with you, brother. I really do. But at the same time, it's just different aspects because you're not a gun owner and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not really your forte.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand you. But at the same time, like when you said, I don't want my daughter to come in the room and pick it up, right? But guess what? That goes back to exactly what I was saying. Training them, showing them, and showing the proper techniques. It's no different than I can sit a cast iron skillet on my goddamn counter and say, don't touch this. This gets hot. Don't touch it. Now, when you want that fried chicken you like, now you take this and you put it here, put grease in it, cook your chicken. You train them. So they know better than to touch it unless it's time to touch it.
Right.
That's the same.
Right. But in that same incident, they get burned. And
yes,
not
they
else.
do.
But guess what? You're right.
Catch what I'm saying.
No. Just let me let you know I'm catching it. Let me let you know I'm catching it. It's the same difference with the gun.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a gun, you need to teach them, you don't touch this. You do not touch this. Guess what? Like you said, if she touch it, if it was a cast iron, she gonna get burned, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a gun. If you touch it, it has actions that happen afterwards. So don't touch it. So it's the same difference is all I'm saying. It's the same difference as teaching them.
But the consequences is more detrimental. As I guess I'm not budging on the detriment of what the consequence. Like you get burned in my head, in my mind. It's like
from accidents every day on just household shit.
But I think it's just you just have to be safe. That's what needs to be done.
I'm saying.
It has to be done in the most safe way, the most safe way, so that children don't even. I mean, I've had my hands on a gun before. I should have had my hands on a gun, but I've also never been talked about not.
Thank you. You weren't educated about it.
You weren't educated on it, right?
yeah, I think just making sure that people are educated. That's what I want to, promote. Not only the ownership of it or even just the licensing of it, making sure that you're licensed, but that it's going to be in a very safe way.
Right.
We got a lot of people.
Real though.
Hold on, we got a lot of people because I want to get them to start talking to us. I want to start talking to us as well. What's up, Earl Tuck? What's up, Ron Ortiz? What's up, Amy? What's up, Jason? What's up, Marcus Dupree and Tyrone and Loretta and Tyler and Trey?
Marcus,
Anthony,
I need some pictures.
Eric and Tavis and Shonda, Grover, Donald Hurdle, Vance, all y'all. We are talking about
Donald. Hey, Lily.
about gun ownership, responsible gun ownership. Do you own? If you do, why? Concealed or not? Put your thoughts in. Type your thoughts up here so we can answer your questions. Right now, we're kind of discussing the yays and nays and ups and downs of gun ownership and gun education and training and so on. Go ahead, Candace. You had something you wanted to share.
No, saying hey to my cousin Lisa and then hey Rita. But yeah, my biggest thing would be the education and the training behind gun ownership. Of course, you can't put into someone else what you don't have inside of yourself. So you have to be trained as well.
That's powerful.
They have
Come on.
That was a word.
That was a bob. No, say that again. That was a bob, honey. Give that in.
That was the truth, though.
You can't put into someone else what you already don't have inside of yourself. So if you want your children, if you want your spouse to, be well aware of how to act with a gun or how to be responsible with their guns, or what to do if you are in a situation and this is your last resort, you have no other option. This is how you act responsibly, and this is how you walk away alive. And this is how we save your life. These are the things that you have to put into them, but these are the lessons that you have to be willing to learn yourself first. Right. You need to know how to clean your weapon, because you can't just have it and not be cleaning it. The weapon is old. It will rust. Your coil's gonna get stuck. The spring ain't gonna move. The bullet gonna get stuck in the finger. Clean.
Come on, Shotgun Mary.
Shotgun Mary, yes.
Hey, she's speaking it like a scripture, though, bro.
Yes, she is.
Shotgun Mary.
I'm just saying, if you want, I'm all for the Second Amendment right. Cool. Everybody should be able to safely and responsibly own a weapon. Got it. That's not worldwide. That's nationwide across the U.S. Right. Got it. However, the responsibility comes with that. Not just for you to just own a gun, like how Greg was saying. You can go to one of these the gun shows.
You can go to gun shows.
And you got your license.
Well, you go to a pawn shop, they gonna give you a goddamn background check.
Yeah.
Right. You can go to and they're gonna do a background check. It'll come back like 3 to 5 days or something. Like you're not just gonna walk out of there with the same day.
No, that shit come back in 10 minutes.
Not in California. Not in California. 10 days.
Well, I'll tell you now. Down here, you go into an actual registered gun store, they will do a background check on you. If their computer is working right, it'll take about 10 minutes. You feel
yeah, if the computer's working right.
And then they submit it and it comes back, your whole background comes back. You ain't no felon, you not illegal, you know what I'm saying? You're not a substance abuser, you're all these things. You know, you're not mentally have any kind of mental incapacities or anything like that. All that comes back in like 10 minutes. The longest I've ever seen it take was an hour. That's the longest I've ever seen it take.
And this is at a pawn.
This is at a reputable gun store.
Gun store, but at a gun show, they don't
care.
So it's money. Okay, I see.
Yeah,
these jokers will pull up with trucks. I'm talking about like how we all on the phone right now, or are we all on Zoom right now? All 5 of us could go to a gun show, and you got a truck, you got a truck, you got a truck, right? And we all got money. And we say we're gonna buy as many of these guns as we can. You can go to a gun show and do that. Long as
that is crazy.
But I do have a question though.
Long as you can show this, they will sell you a gun.
So here's my question, because this is the part that now again, I'm not anti-gun. I am pro-gun, pro-responsible gun ownership and use.
And let us know out there too, y'all.
Right. One of the things I don't understand, though, I don't understand. Okay, unless it is your hobby and that is what you happen to collect, I'm really not understanding the necessity of assault rifle. That's the part I don't quite get, because I mean, again, I understand protection. I understand if it's something that because again, you have individuals, wrong, right, or indifferent, that just collect guns. They love guns, artillery, so on and so forth. And that is fine with me. I don't have a problem with that. If that's what you're doing, But what would make a person need to come to the gun show and buy a buttload of rifles? For what?
I have one statement to that, Dizzy. It's because they are on the wrong side of it. They are the ones that make average people like us have to have them. They're building up for something. Why? What's the point in going to buy all those like that in bulk?
Right.
Right.
You're building up for something. So therefore, a person like me, which I do everything responsible, I gotta have mine too. Because guess what? If that's what you're coming with, I'm gonna have something for your ass.
And that is the problem that I have with just the government and the law, because a person that has good common sense, once again, like I said before, like this shit, respectfully, she doesn't have a problem with it. I do. I don't think you should have the opportunity as a registered professional, whatever gun owner, to own a bunch of guns, because it is not entertainment.
For you, it's
no.
you.
Let me really explain this. Let me really say this again. We have encyclopedias and dictionaries and definitions and all this kind of stuff. But I've always said, and it's not even about balance. Sometimes we just allow ourselves to get away with too much. I remember when we first started this webisode, Keela said that America is just entitled, spoiled. It's never enough. There are certain things that are just not entertainment, certain things that are not healthy, certain things that are not good for you. And people can always say, well, in whose opinion and what? But when you take something that, once again, regardless of what you want to call it, is a gun, and you have 5, 6, 7, and 8 of them, and it's not necessary, there is a certain time where, to me, in law, those things should be limited. They limit everything else, and those would be things that we need. You limiting food, I'm being not funny, but limiting people's food stamps. I'm not on it, but what I'm saying is I'm trying to give an exaggerated example of how we are so butt backwards, and we will do things. And I'm really understanding more. Keely, you right though, girl. Because money is the root sometimes of all evil. You telling me at gun shows, people can leave gun shows with a load truck of guns and become an army, but then they'll go to a professional.
Please tell him I'm telling the truth in the comments.
And then go to a reputable gun store, and they do the proper procedures, which they should be doing at the gun shows. And it should be limited. It should be at a gun show, you can only leave with maybe 2 guns. But that doesn't make sense. And that's what I'm saying is, I'm not trying to not knock somebody's thing, but someone saying I collect cars, in my mind, is totally different than someone say I collect guns. It will never ever make sense. It would never ever make sense
to you. That's what I'm saying, to you.
But when is the truth gotta be stopped?
We had another conversation about entertainment, right? We had another conversation a couple weeks back about what is entertaining and what is agreeable or doable when we were talking about the sex industry.
But do you think
hold on, wait a
sex is
minute.
the same?
Hold on.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm
making
passionate.
a point. I'm making a point because I know Greg is about to go where I'm about to go. We made a point and had a conversation about what people found entertaining or sexy or whatever. And there were some things I don't want to see, don't want to watch, I'm not interested in, that Keela might want to watch. Sorry to throw your freakiness out there, but there's certain things that Keela want to watch that I don't want to watch. There's certain things that Greg wants to watch that you might not want to watch, and vice versa. It doesn't mean it's not a form of entertainment. It just means it's not for, hold on, it's not for you because, hold on, entertainment is a form of activity that holds the attention and interest of an audience or gives pleasure and delight.
Come on.
So if I go to the gun range and I like the power of a 45 in the gun range, that can be a form of entertainment to me. But that does not mean the same form of entertainment needs to have me on the corner of Todd's Lane shooting at people. It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. And that's what I'm saying. Once again, to my word balance. I will never, sex to me, whatever. Gun, cars, whatever. I'm talking about something very, very specific as far as guns. It's not, I don't look at people's choices in that way because I see the entertainment in. My mind absolutely says guns is the danger zone. It is not a thing that is ever like entertainment. Like I can get what you're saying about sex. I could get any probably extreme, but the one thing that I cannot see is the one thing that just kills us all. And I'm talking, when I say us, I mean us as Black folks. And it bothers me when I see the Black on Black crime, when I see the white on Black crime, when I see the police on Black crime, and I'm like, when are we not gonna say, well, it's you're like, that's how you feel? No, how about how we feel? Because it don't make sense. I'm not saying you can't have a gun, but listening to everyone right now, it's like, dang, like how is this entertainment?
Bro, I really think you're missing the bus on this one, bro.
No,
I ain't missing the bus.
I can kind of, I see where he is coming from because
I see where he's coming from, but it's like he's not understanding the fact that once you do, like, just like you said, I apologize, Keela, I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead.
But like, that's why I think like we need to have Black-owned gun clubs.
There are.
They are.
You know what I'm saying? It needs to be normalized. It needs to be normalized. Like you got NRA, you got, you know what I'm saying, all these little gun clubs and stuff we are not active in. But if we, as a people, if we actually had them and taught the education to it and taught the safety and taught the proper, you know what I'm saying, procedures and everything, it wouldn't seem so foreign to, like, not saying you are a different person in any kind of way like that, but like the person like you that you're saying I don't understand, but it's so many of us that do understand.
I think
it's not foreign though, but go ahead, Keela.
When it comes to guns, they aren't the end result of having a gun. What, you know, the type of damage and destruction that guns can have, it is a fact that it is not, should not be for entertainment because death happens out of it. Now, that's the foundation. People will ignore that and still do whatever they, you know, do. I think that's what Cabana is saying. You are 100% correct, but people will ignore that because maybe they're not a murderer. You know, they're not somebody that would actually go out and shoot someone. That they can look at the TV, they can look at movies, they can look at things like that. And even they have, you know, gun shows and stuff where they do it for the sport.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But it is a fact that guns are meant to kill.
And don't get me wrong, I believe that we should have
people just ignore that fact.
Yeah, and I believe, like, I'm going to go to a gun range because I understand I'm forced to. Like, my hand is being forced because, like Dizzy said, the last 6 months, we have been under attack. And it scares me that I would have to have that, my right to not want to have a weapon in my hand, but now closing to getting a weapon in my hand. And I feel like when I've always said this, when I look at cops and they're shooting, there's something, and people looking at this, they, well, you gonna think what you gonna think. I always look at people in their eyes. When I see certain people shoot guns, sometimes it looks like their eyes go black and it's just evil. It's like something turns, like that power of firing something gives them this, like, God, like, I'm going to do it. And sometimes
you got some people like that.
Yeah,
oh, definitely.
That's
when I think about entertainment, for me, and this is for me in this incident, it is to do that to me, but to do it in a way that the end result is positive. When I'm looking at, if I take a gun for myself, and this is how I'm thinking, and I feel that kind of power, but the end result is there's nothing I can do with a gun.
Yeah.
There's nothing that I can do with a gun. And maybe that was maybe a better way for me to say it.
Right.
There's nothing in me, far as even if I went to the gun range and I enjoyed shooting at a whatever, what else there's left to do? And that is my problem, because there is really nothing else to do with a gun. You leave people with almost a fidget finger, a fidget mentality. The ones that are not mature, like, Greg said, that make it look bad, they begin to have an itch. And I see it in cops that are not good. I see it in individuals that are not good. They get this itch, and the next thing you know, that itch ends in a death.
The problem
is, sorry
to interrupt.
That
But
goes
the
to
problem is that because it's a freedom, it was here already before any of us were born. It is our right to exercise it, to be licensed for it. There's nothing we can do to change the American culture when it comes to guns. Nothing.
Right.
You're
right. Guns ain't going nowhere. They're not going anywhere.
So we need to get into it.
Oh, let me say hi to Skull. Let me say hi. Hey, Skulls. Hey, Richard. Hey, Tony. And everybody that's seeing us. This is a great discussion. We're all friends. We're all family.
Yes, we are. We're talking gun ownership, black gun ownership, overall ownership. Do you own a gun? Do you not own a gun? Do you prefer to open carry, concealed carry? Please join our conversation in the comments, because we want to hear from you.
Yes.
We have some very strong views in here that are pro-gun. We have some very strong views in here that are anti-gun. So this conversation is actually very, very good. This is actually, because we are actually disagreeing on so many levels, but it's okay.
But we love each other.
Yes, we love each other. Because you know what, and you know what, I was just thinking about, some of the things that Cabana was saying, and I get it. Mm-hmm. I understand, but I don't have to agree.
Right.
And because here's my thing. Because I know Cabana is not the one to touch a firearm, not the one to get into that kind of kerfluffle. So now I know.
Come on, kerfluffle.
I said kerfluffle.
Come on,
so now I know if we're ever anywhere and shit hits the fan, I'm gonna have to be the one cocking back for Cabana, because he's not gonna do it.
Hey,
and
I'm gonna fight.
Yes, you're gonna fight. I know.
I'm about to say, he will fight though.
He'll fight to the death. No, I'm just saying. But again, you remember how we were talking before when we were talking about everyone's place in this Black Lives Matter fight. Remember we were talking about this before, and we were saying everybody cannot be out protesting.
Right.
That is not how everybody fights. You've got people that are out there doing peaceful protests. That's the way that they contribute to this. You've got other people out there ready to throw bricks and set shit on fire. That's the way that they express their anger, or whatever the case may be. You have others that are at home that are the empaths, that need to be the ones that are there ready to receive you when you come back from the bullshit of the world. So I don't expect everybody ever on our planet to be on the same page about any subject. We're gonna need the person that after I come home, after a long day of whatever, if I had a crazy day, someone shot at me, I shot back at them. I need to be able to come home, put my headphones on, and listen to Cabana to calm me down. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so backwards because I listen to Cabana while I'm out there causing destruction.
See, you know exactly.
I put that shit in my headphones. Have you listened to Cabana's music? That nigga motivate the fuck out your ass.
Look, Greg be like this. Warrior.
Oh
You better know it. You better know it. Cabana, don't get it twisted. Hey, you motivate somebody in different ways, my nigga. I love you. I will put
Don't y'all do that. Don't y'all do that. Don't
What
you
you
do
say,
that.
Candace?
Candace, save us.
Like, look, there's different levels to this. It really don't matter because I can drive up to work selling dope on the corner and beating folks' ass, and then when I get out, hi, how you doing today? It don't matter. There's
Now we
different
back to code switching. Now we back to code switching.
That's shotgun. That's shotgun Barry.
Hold on, why y'all sound like I just described Keela's life?
You gotta maintain lane though. Everybody has a lane in this Black Lives Matter movement. Just as Dizzy was saying, you got people that's out there that's ready to cause destruction. They got their bricks, they got their sledgehammers, and they're ready to fuck some shit up. Then you got other people that are over there. They have, they got the money. So they're putting in money to different organizations to help move movement. Because you gotta move it. It's not a one person thing. This is everyone playing their own role. And then you got others that are out there peacefully protesting. And then you got people that are going out and they're actually sitting down and they're talking to these legislatures and they're speaking to these people and trying to get new movement and new laws made that will help push the movement forward.
That's
everyone has a lane. Same thing with Gunz, Cabana. I got your statement, and I totally feel where you're feeling and where you're coming from. But everybody feels different on it. Some people do use guns just for destruction and violence. That's it. They have no other purpose for that particular person. They're thinking just them by themselves and whoever else thinks just like them. Then you have others who use guns that are for purely entertainment purposes. I've seen some people where they'll go to the range and they'll line up different items just to see if they can shoot whatever that particular item is because it's a release to them or it's entertaining to them because, man, I shot a watermelon the other day and that mug exploded and went everywhere. Or you got some people that will set up different types of metal and they will literally play songs by shooting different pieces of metal at different points. So you'll literally hear the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, da. You'll hear all of them and then they'll go back and play jingle bells on that mug. They got all types of stuff out there and it is entertainment for people. And then you have some folks that, like you said, collect guns. So they want, this type, or they want something that is rare, or they want something that, were only 10 issued, or there were only 15 that were made, and be like, man, I got the last one. Can you believe it? And be like, oh, I'm gonna put this in a case and put it on my wall. I'm gonna make sure I give this to my grandkids because they don't even make these anymore.
That's the heirloom.
Yes. So there are lots of things. However, there is a flip side to everything. It's a double-edged sword. You still got, who was it? What's his name? George Zimmerman sold the gun that he shot Trayvon Martin for, and that mug went.
I didn't want to say his bitch ass name. Why you? Oh my God! I didn't want to bring that dumb. Ooh.
Why you piss my sister off?
I'm just making a point.
You know she ain't got no damn chill.
You know I don't.
At all.
Look, there's different sides to this, and there's always different levels to it. Cabana, there is balance because just as much good you can do with it, there's just as much bad that can happen as well. So if, however, you decide that you want to pull your take from it and go forward with how you want to be perceived and how you want to be seen on the outside with whether you're going to have a gun or not, or how you're going to act when you do have a gun. There's all sides to it. And a lot of it can be for entertainment purposes. And there are a lot of evil people out there whose eyes turn black, and you can see the death and destruction that they're trying to inflict on others in their face when they're holding this gun like they have that sort of power over people. Everyone isn't like that. And although we can't decipher who has what in them until it's too late sometimes. All you can do is try to be the best that you can be at this point and move forward and try and spread positivity and push the love that you can to everyone that you're working with. That's my take on it.
Hey, so I got somebody who's actually finally put a message. Hey, Miss Janine, how are you? So she put, I think in the times that we're having now, a Black man would need it for protection from police. They are being hunted point blank. I don't like guns. My dad had one and I have been around them, but I also have a Black son. So, again, also still coming from a protective standpoint, protective point of view. So here, I have a question really quick for Cabana. So, guns, obviously, weapon, created to kill. That's what it is there for, what it's made for, so on and so forth. Do you feel as strongly about a sword?
I feel strongly about any weapon.
Ooh.
Any weapon. So swords, knives, anything, any weapon whatsoever you have an issue with.
And I guess it's because of how I was taught about weapons. Because, sorry.
Hold on. Go ahead, Cabana.
It was the way I was taught because I love history, even though they don't give us all our history.
Right.
But the history that I did see is weapons, like Keela said, and I thought about it when she said it. They created it for war. They created it to fight against other people, to take ownership. That was the first thing that I learned when I was in my history class. The teacher didn't teach me that. It was from me filtering out what she was teaching me. I was like, there's a pattern here. And when I started looking at the Indians, Africans, Christopher Columbus, and on and on and on and on, and all the gaps in between, the one thing that I saw is that guns and swords and all those things came out when people wanted to take something from someone. And then for me, it just put in my mindset that this is a weapon, because until then, there wasn't what I call the creative minds. Like the stuff that Candace was talking about, I can make doo-doo at Hardee's look pretty. What about that? You know what I'm saying?
Lord have mercy.
That's a private joke, everybody. That's a private joke, everybody. But what I'm saying is, we can take anything and make magic out of it. I believe that. I believe that we can take anything that's negative and make it into positive. But what I've learned from just going in, school and classes is that, wow, like this was used to suppress. And then that's when I started to work on my African history. And then I found out the reason why we were not seen is that we were kings and queens and that we had stuff. And then they was like, yo, we want your stuff. But I'm not gonna go there because people gonna be like, what you talking about? And I'm like, oh, let me back off that.
Because I heard it plain. I felt that. You said a word.
Also, keep in mind that weapons are used for hunting as well. So you have people that's their means of finding food for themselves and for family. That's the same thing that they were doing back in the day. Marcus,
cavemans were taking bones. I get it. And eating and doing, I get it. It's just, I think the bigger picture of it was the overall scheme, and even be more serious. Like, I don't want to get emotional. Don't get emotional. Come on. But when I think about our Black people on boats, man, like it get to me. Like, it really gets to me, because all I can see is, why do we have to? But I get what everybody's saying, because you have to protect yourself. Like, I get it. Like, if someone comes to hit me, I gotta hit them back. Like, I gotta defend myself. But if someone does come at me with a gun, I don't want to be like Dizzy said, the person that's just running away. Because a gun is the ultimate end of something when you see it. Because I told y'all, the gun has been put out on me gunpoint twice, and I had nothing. And all I said was Jesus the first time, and the second time I was like, God help me. And the person both times was like, oh, this is the wrong person. And at that point, I realized, dang, that's it. You know what I mean? So I do get it. It's just so, you know what I'm saying? It's just like it's a struggle. But guys, that's watching, I'm sure they get it.
So check this. I was slipping. I appreciate Vance for inboxing me like, yo, You know, people making comments on your live on what you got to say, and I couldn't see them because apparently I could only see the watch party. So I got a whole lot of recap. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My bad, y'all. Okay, so first off, Rodney said, "Hey, everyone." Miss Levator said, "Hey." Lance is in the building. Lance said, "What up?" He said, "Keela did her hair." He likes that. All right, Lance. Sorry, Lance, paying attention. Did her hair. So Lance says, we need protection. Weapons are also used for sporting events. However, I believe that people need a more in-depth background check at every level. We need to require those for purchasing a license to attend a class on how to properly use the weapons and when to properly use them. Those who break those laws will lose their right to carry indefinitely. It is not hard to maintain discipline when you possess a firearm. Also require people to attend a self-awareness class. This would help increase the amount of discipline and help people be more aware of their surroundings. Nice. Lance also says there is a difference between being weak and being wise when it comes to the overall protection of your family. Levator says, if I had a gun, I would also say open carry. No surprises. You can see it. Lance also says, let me see. I don't remember what this is in response to. Y'all might be able to remember. He said, let me see a white officer do that shit in front of me. They're going to have to arrest me. Oh, it must have been walking around with the guns, the socialist.
Yeah.
Right. Lance said, let me see a white officer do that shit in front of me. They're going to have to arrest me too, because I'm going to make them look stupid. Donald Hurdle said, we're having a good conversation. Mr. Kerry Michael, our artist from last week, is like, woo, y'all are making some good points.
He said some on mine too. He was like, yep, I see both perspectives. A gun, I see how Cabana doesn't want to own one. And then he was like, I gotta revise that. I think he was trying to agree with you though, Cabana.
Right. So Mr. Vader also says, I agree with Cabana. I don't like guns, but I grew up around them. My dad had one on his nightstand by the bed, and he hunted. I don't care for them at all. My husband, though, was law enforcement in the military, but now I'm thinking about learning how to use one.
Right.
Donald Hurdle gave us the fist. Yes. He says, I think if the family is taught on gun ownership, that would lessen the detrimental part. If you have a gun, you have to be taught safety first. Some people abuse it. That always overshadows the people who do it right.
Yeah, I agree.
Plus, everyone should not be allowed to have a gun with mental in their background checks. Some people, Lance says, some people have hobbies that like to rebuild old weapons. They like to sell them to make money. I have a couple of friends who like to build weapons. So in that aspect, it comes down to money. Hey, Vance. What's up, Vance? GMLA, grinding my life away. Vance says, I own several. Also concealed carry. Consistent education and training lends to your comfort level with guns. They are not for everyone. I'd much rather have it when I need it and don't have it.
Okay.
Eric, my boy Eric, what's up, Long? What's up, brother Long?
Oh, that's bro.
Bro Long. He said, guns are tools, nothing more, nothing less. He said, is there a limit on how many hammers we can have? I guess not. Let's see. Donald jumped on, I think, when we were talking about the gun shows. He was like, you're not lying. All you got to do is show what you, with your permit. I have no idea. Oh, I think Donald Hurdle was trying to challenge me to spell kerfluffle.
Kerfluffle?
He says, spell that Kerfluffle. Kerfluffle. Hashtag kerfluffle.
Hashtag Phil.
I know, right? Let's see what else I got. That's it. That's what we got. So I am so sorry that it was late for me getting back to these comments, because I surely didn't know all of that was going on while we were talking. I got to do a better job. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do 50 million things at the same time.
I got a question.
Hey, what's up?
So I said something a while back, and it wasn't on our live, it wasn't on our show like that. But like, we gotta name our followers, man, because they be saying some dope shit, yo.
Yes, yes.
And,
Look, we would love for y'all to come make sure y'all come here every single
time,
week. There is a new event that is placed on the What You Got to Say page. It is the reoccurring event every single week at 1 o'clock, just to ping on your phone to let you know that we are about to go live. So if you could go there and say, yes, I'm interested, it will remind you every week that we're about to go live so that you don't come late to the party.
And you don't want to miss next Sunday because it's going to be steam man.
Yes, it is.
Hey, another thing that that I wanted to talk about was as far as because the military uses guns as well, just as much as our law enforcement do here stateside. But when our service members are in areas like downrange, when they're in Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam, or wherever else, they have this thing called rules of engagement.
Oh, I had somebody say.
Right.
For some reason, our officers that are stateside do not have to follow the same rules that our service members do when they're downrange. They have to account for damn near every bullet that they release from their guns. And there's an investigation, and you have to explain to your first line, to your first sergeant, to your commander, damn near the brigade commander of the base. Be like, all right,
you gotta go on a written statement.
Yes, with your written statement. So who were you shooting at? Why were you shooting? You know, who all was injured? Did you render aid? All this type of stuff. So these are all the things that have to be done as far as our service members are concerned where they're downrange. Why is it that our service members have more self-control when it comes to releasing and shooting people, which is what they're trained to do because they're sent over there basically to shoot people who are already shooting at them? And you have officers that are stateside that are shooting people who are unarmed, who pose no threat at all. And then they don't have to follow the same rules of engagement, whereas they have to explain themselves on why you brandish your weapon and why you did this and why you did that. And then they're not held accountable. Because when, you know, our service members are downrange and these things are going off, okay, now they have to explain themselves, and they could lose their career. They have to lose their career over what they did while they were downrange, despite having bullets flying at them from all ways. You still have to explain
why they misword it, sis.
Huh?
They can even lose it if they misword their statement. They
That
can get trouble over that. That's what's crazy. But yet these officers, they go off a buddy. It's like, hey, John said he didn't shoot him until he did this, and they get away with it.
But then you have back accountability, though. It sounds like accountability.
But it is accountability.
There
but
is no
no accountability being held.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If what she just said about the rules of engagement, that's what I feel like I'm missing here. I think that was, Candace, thank you for saying that. For me, a person that doesn't want to engage in, buying a gun, but has to, whatever, it is nice in anything. It's just like, for me, a parent going to a school or someone getting a new babysitter to watch over your children. You have accountability set up, and there are things that you go through and processes. And I feel like there is reckless abandonment that goes on when it comes to things that are very dangerous to our culture. But I'm really getting to a bigger place where I feel like that reckless abandonment is there on purpose, because the perpetrators are people that are in higher power that carry an evil intention, not for our good. And now it's making more sense to me.
So you got to be ready so you don't have to get ready. That's what I'm trying to say. You got to be ready so you don't have to get ready. Because we know that those dangers are out there, and there are people out there that know the same information that we know, and they know the same safety we know, right? But yet they have a reckless abandonment of caring, period. They don't care.
That's sad.
So when you're a person that cares and you follow all the rules, I got multiple guns, bro. bro. But guess what? My little skinny ass will use these any day. Any day.
Mhm.
Especially about mine.
I just wish that, you know, the conversation is so good because it's just, once again, I think the narrative that I'm starting to understand throughout all our conversations is that we are not the problem. And that's deep. That is real deep to me. And
But we're the solution, bro.
yeah, we are. I mean, we're the solution. But when I'm saying, and when you say, when I don't want to just throw the word solution, because I like when somebody say solution, I like it to be clear and detailed.
I need to know.
The solution is not as clear. Because it was really clear some of the stuff and problems that we wouldn't have. I'm starting to see that the problem, the cause of the problem is really more evident. And I would love from the people that are listening to, like, what do you think are some of the ways that we could resolve, you know, the things that we're in that maybe we're not thinking about? Or what are the things that you think may never change and we may just need to be just prepared? Like our favorite Lance, you know, you can chime
Right, Lance.
You know, like, you can chime on in, Lance.
Lance, you gotta come on the show, bro.
I know, right? We need to get him on the show.
You gotta come on the
I
show,
think
bro.
one thing that we definitely have to make sure we differentiate is that, okay, got it that guns kill. That's what they were created for. Got it that they are weapons. We got that. When we started off this conversation, we were more so talking about gun ownership, responsible legal gun ownership, getting licensed, getting trained, put them in, cleaning them right, putting them in a lockbox, using them responsibly. I think we really have to look at how many of those individuals are the ones who are actually partaking in the crime that you see on television, in the news, versus illegal gun ownership. Ray Ray, or even I could say Bobby and them gave me this gun.
Right.
But look, it's not just Ray Ray and them, it's Bobby and them. This Bobby and them too gave me this illegal gun, or I received this illegal gun and I committed this crime, or I felt like I was being bullied, so I had to get this gun and go handle stuff. I can't even give you a percentage right now, but I want to say myself, I can bet you more often than not, those crimes that are being broadcast to us are not the same crimes, not the same guns that are legally registered, sanctioned, and so on by the NRA or by these black gun clubs and so on and so forth.
I agree.
So there has to be a clear differentiation between those owners and people. Same type of gun, same type of weapon, but somebody's been trained and knows how to use it and someone does not.
Right, I agree.
And because that gun is tied to you, this is the serial number that I have purchased. This is my license.
Be careful.
This is my gun. That's how you're able to know that that's my bullet that shot Ray Ray in the butt. That's how you're able to get it back to me. And that was probably be why if I was still a registered gun owner, it definitely like, hold up, let me think about my whole life.
Yes.
Because if I discharge this firearm, you're gonna know that bullet belongs to Dizzy.
Yeah.
Say that shit.
It belongs to Dizzy. Versus the gun I got from Bobby and them.
Come on now.
They're going to be quicker to discharge that gun because you can't link it back to me. Yeah. It doesn't belong to me. It
Even
never
if you
did.
can link it back to me, you're gonna have to link it back to multiple people because it's gonna be multiple hands on that. It's multiple bodies on that.
Right. So I really think we have to make sure that when we're talking about that, we are talking about two separate subsets of
about
gun
legal and illegal
owners.
Yeah,
we talk about legal and illegal.
Right. So again, it's a weapon. I get it. Because, and it's funny because the more we keep talking about it, and even though I know that this thing is not a weapon, however, all of the things besides shooting someone directly, because we were talking earlier about you need to be trained, you need to be licensed, you need to take a test, you need to pass a class, you need to be safe.
That's to be legal.
All those things is great, but guess what? You got people that did all them steps and is still driving cars and killing people.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm licensed, I learned, but I still decided to get in my car and drive drunk and do something dumb.
Yeah.
And people are more likely to do something stupid in something that doesn't belong to them and be tied back to them versus their own legal shit that's tied to them.
Okay.
No, you said that. You came through. You really did. Because that's exactly what I was saying, sis. It's like, if you do the proper things you're supposed to do, there should be nothing wrong with it. But,
agree, Mark. Oh, sorry, Marcus, you're right. He had to correct me. You're absolutely right, Marcus. Hey, Marcus. Although if you legally discharge your firearm, you can still be held accountable.
You can still get your ass
which is correct, and you should be still held accountable because of the training and licensing and so on that you signed your name to.
Right.
Okay, go ahead. My bad. Thanks, Marcus. Go ahead.
Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Marcus. But I'm going to say this. Me being a black man, I am legally able to carry concealed, and I'm in a state that's open carry, so I don't even need a fucking license to carry my shit. You have to understand that right there already builds like a bubble around you of pressure, right? Because if you get into an altercation, you have to think, am I gonna have to use this? And then you have to think, but I already know, I think I could take this motherfucker, but if not, I know how to take an ass whooping too.
But the other person's thinking the same thing.
In 1 fucking second.
But the other person is thinking the same thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
I want everybody to answer this. Do you feel, and I'm going to talk about in our community because I can't talk about anyone else's community, okay? Do you feel that the reason that there is such an increase in gun violence in our culture is because people don't know how to fight anymore?
Yes.
They don't know how to take an ass whooping?
Yes.
Or give one anymore?
Yes. I agree totally with that statement. And that question. I'm telling you right now, that's exactly what I was saying, sis. These motherfuckers out here, ooh, excuse my language. What you got to sayers? Excuse my language.
You've been cussing since the jump.
You a little free today.
That's who you are. Why are you? Why are you
a little free today? I was like, he a little free today.
I am, and
he got his gun.
As I was saying, it is true what you're saying, though, sis. All honesty, we were brought up, our age brackets. I ain't gonna give nobody's ages out, but our age bracket, we grew up with our parents saying, "Oh, they hit you, you hit them back. Cool." We grew up with, "You better not come in here acting like you ain't gonna fight them, but you gonna come in here and be all mad." We grew up in, "You better take your ass back out there and whoop that motherfucker ass. If you come back in here and run away from them, I'm gonna whoop your ass." So now understand which one you gonna do.
Right.
We grew up with that.
But not just the fight. So let me expand that past just the fighting.
Right.
Okay, please.
What if it was our okay, I'm trying to get the words, so I'm asking the question that I really want to ask. So a lot of people do not teach their children basic self-defense. Okay, basic self-defense, basic how to fight, how to defend themselves.
Touche.
A lot of our children and the younger, I'm even us too, but of the younger, they don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to effectively communicate. They know how to talk.
That main part right
They know how to text.
They know aggression.
But they don't know how to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And then looking through the generations, you know, these last few generations have a sense of entitlement, and their mediocrity has been celebrated.
Yeah.
And so they don't, and they don't know how to take a no. So here's why I say that. And I go back to this point almost every time I see mass shootings at like schools.
Oh, you said that.
And so on and so forth. So I feel that when you create a society where you have what's called helicopter parenting,
come on,
where you don't allow your children to learn problem solving and conflict resolution skills,
you hovering over.
When you have parents that don't understand that children are allowed to have disagreements, and children need to learn the skills to solve those disagreements, but you have parents that come in and throw the bully card every time their child doesn't get their way. You have children whose parents won't allow them to fail, won't allow them to get an F. So the parents are going into classrooms challenging teachers, saying my child should have this A, my child should have this, and maybe they don't even really deserve it. So you have all of this, and then everybody gets a trophy culture, where you don't teach them how to lose. They get these participation awards. So when you have situations where, and I can't remember the boy's name, but it was one of the shootings, when you have a teenager in high school go to the school and shoot the teacher and other students because he got an F on a test, that's a problem for me.
But it got learned somewhere, Dizzy.
I know, but I'm just saying, but the thing is that I don't think it was learned to go and shoot teacher for an F. I think what wasn't learned was how to lose, how to fail, conflict resolution, problem solving. Okay. And those are the individuals who reach for the gun first.
That's what I was.
I don't know how to say what I'm saying. I don't know how to get my aggression out. So let me get the easiest thing that guarantees I'm going to win this fight. I'm going to win if I go in with this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that's a part of that. Okay, we got a response. Hold on. Someone did say, I think it goes back to not being able to express themselves and defend their perspectives in the household.
Okay.
Our brother Long says, my advice to all my brothers and sisters, please conceal carry. Open carry laws are not meant for us. In my hood,
they're not meant, but they're about to be.
Right. In my hood, he who had the guns had the power. It is not about being able to fight. This ties back to the dope game and taking over and securing your territory. However, people without hands are quicker to pull.
That's true.
Hold on, people.
And Marcus said,
people without hands are what?
People without these hands are quicker to pull. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Marcus Debris came in and said that boy earned that F, but he didn't know how to process it.
Exactly.
I think there are a lot of things.
That's what a lot of people, they can't mentally take what they have earned. Like, you earned that F. You decided that you weren't going to study for this test, or you decided that, you weren't going to show up to work on time, or you decided that you were going to continue picking with people and poking the bear. And when someone said something back to you, you didn't know how to retaliate. And it's not necessarily a need for you to retaliate. It's a way or a teaching moment for you to learn how to talk your way out of things, or for you to, speak to people in a way that, allows you to communicate, or for y'all to have respectable discourse. You don't have to agree to everything someone else says, and people don't have to agree with everything that you say. But that's the problem that a lot of, I'm going to say it, the ugly American has, because they think that whatever they're saying is gospel. And whatever I'm saying, y'all got to accept what I said, and y'all got to respect me because I said it. You didn't earn your respect with me. You have not said anything that I personally respect. So there's no reason for me to continue this conversation with you. I've said my piece. You don't agree with it, I can move on. But if you want to sit here and continue going back and forth with me until you pull out a gun, and now I'm supposed to just oh, okay, you was right, massa. No, you best back up.
Hold on. Did you hear what you just said?
She showed did.
No.
Did you hear what you just said?
Yeah,
What you just said, you said until you pull out that gun, and then it's like, okay, massa. But guess
Right.
what? That's where the negative come in, because even back then, our ancestors on top of ancestors on top of ancestors, they respected the gun as, oh, you pulled that out, I don't want no problem.
We know back then they respected the whip.
Well, I mean,
Still a weapon, nevertheless.
Yeah, but it grew to the gun, because we grew strong even back then. Our ancestors grew strong back then. They went from the whip to the gun. Dig me, please. They went from the whip to the gun. But guess what? We grew, and we understand what that gun can do. Like Cabana said, that gun. What am I do? What am I gonna do after the gun? Nothing. You're done after I bring the gun out. But what's crazy is that is a tool that they use to keep us, our ancestors, in line. But we grew to the point where, oh, well, now we got them. Oh, we understand what these amendments and shit are, motherfucker. We know what they are. So I can have one too.
Right.
But
right.
See, none of those amendments, none of that shit was written for us.
Oh, what?
That's true.
But we about to exercise.
Right.
Right. But now that we're exercising it, now that we're exercising it, and we're doing it properly, and we're following the law, and we're doing it properly, they hate it, because they're like, oh, these niggas
they
know.
might change. There might be stricter gun laws if
Now they need stricter gun laws.
They're
Niggas
going
understand the laws with the guns. Oh shit!
Because
they control them with the gun. No.
That's true. But before they were saying, if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book.
Put it in the book.
Those books now, and so you have so many people that are becoming more educated. Not just in gun laws, but in legislatures, in hospitals. Everything. We are reading more. And I love it. I'm glad, not to say that we weren't reading previously, but more of Black people are becoming more educated now, which is great.
When they would kill you for being educated, when they would kill you for learning how to read, like
what? For knowing how to read the word tree.
That was the other. Like, that is one of those other phrases that people use. You know what I mean? If you want to hide something, put it in the book. But if you killed me because I could read, then, like, don't act like like Black people just don't want to read. You know what I mean? Not saying that that's what you were saying, but that's where that.
No, I understand what you're saying too, though, because it's like, well, why do I want to learn if they're gonna kill me if I learn it? But you got the ones like are on this screen right now that we're going to learn. We're going to
educate ourselves,
and we're going to educate other people when we see them.
Right.
That where we are in this generation, there are a lot more people who are, willing to brandish their guns and, in order to take whatever power they feel that they deserve, in order to feel that type of authoritative mannerisms over you. And what a lot of people are doing is they're coming up with permanent solutions to temporary problems.
Come on now. Use your words. Use your words.
If this is something that we can talk about, if this is something that we can talk through, then by all means, let's talk about it.
But you know what? You know we were taught, though? We were taught to feel like we were a bitch for talking through. You got to remember that. You got to remember that. At least as a Black man, I will say that. We were taught, hey, if you don't goddamn get that motherfucker and you try to talk your way out of it, you was a bitch. Remember that.
I will say, we needed that needs to be a whole other show, but I agree with what Greg is saying.
I agree.
There is a level of education that have been provided to the Black men in our community that you don't have to sit down and talk and sift through your feelings.
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. and you don't have to know or do, you don't have to talk through it. You're right. That was the stigma for quite a while. I'm thinking, hoping that it is changing more now, but I definitely have seen that.
I hope it
I've
is.
seen that.
I think that's
It's not warranted. It's not warranted. If
right. We need to write that down as a whole other show. I like that.
We're educated and we talk to each other. Listen, straight up, as black men, if we actually talk to each other, we can get through so many more situations.
There has to
Maybe
be,
even with unified.
but there has to be willingness to. Well, that leads to our new show.
It does.
That leads to our new show because there has to be a willingness to stop seeing something that you don't want to see about someone. And I'm not talking outside of my race. I'm talking within my race because I think that
I'm talking about us, bro.
Yeah.
In our culture and with anybody else's culture, I think every culture has to have that dialogue with themselves. And for black men especially, we have to come together and understand that there's just going to be images of ourselves that we're not comfortable with. And we have to get past it in order to get comfortable with a conversation that will bring about change. And it's real deep than just like a moment. I think that's the biggest problem because I felt like with black men, and this is off the subject. Sorry, guys that are listening.
We are, but guess what?
But this is the one thing that I think that would help us even more so unite better if we knew that we had our brothers back for real. Yeah. Am I my brother's keeper? Not just the fist bump, but the real understanding that I am your keeper. And then I think that does affect actually the climate of gun change too. I think everything is a cause and effect of humanity. When you feel that something has your back and when you feel something has you secure and protected, you're more likely to work with it than work against it. And so
well, I'm gonna let that statement right there start our roundabout because that right there is the beginning of the roundabout because we've been on. This is the hour and a half mark, so we about to round this up. But I like that. Are you cool with that being your roundabout?
Yeah, that's my dad.
Like
yes,
I agree 100%. Candace, what you got for our roundabout statement?
Look, all I can say is practice gun safety. If you do choose to go out and exercise your Second Amendment right, by all means do so, but try to do it safely. Make sure you educate yourself. Make sure you're ensuring that you're educating those in your home. Make sure you have the guns locked up or you have them in a high place where children can't get to them so they're not playing with it. And then also make sure that you're, getting out in your community and doing your best to not only join like a Black-owned gun club, but just joining a gun club so that you can be more aware of the different gun laws that are being made and then how that's going to affect you in not just your home, but in your community and in your state. And then when you are in a situation where you actually do have to use your gun, don't make a permanent decision for a temporary problem. Right. If it's something that you talk your way out of, or if it's something that you can, if it's a situation that you're able to de-escalate, then by all means do so. But don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yes.
Right. Miss Keela, what you got, baby?
I would like to say, read the Second Amendment. Make yourself aware of your rights. Make yourself aware of the rights in your particular state, city, and down to the county, or county and down to the city. But I would also like to. There was an accident in Oceanside today with 8 Marines. That 8 were lost. One was dead. So 9. I read up on the story a little bit, but there was an accident in Oceanside, and so I just want to send out, positive energy, and hopefully they, anybody else who was lost, that situation is, the people are found, and the families can get some peace.
Okay, Mr. Greg.
Oh shit! Look. All I'm gonna say is this: at the end of the day, we are all individuals that we want to preserve our life, and we want to take care of our family. I don't mean to get serious. I'm the funny man. I get it. But at the end of the day, we really have to take that Second Amendment to heart. Because as a black man, I'm going to tell you right now, even though I'm legal, when those lights, those cherries and berries get the blinking behind me, I still get scared because I know I'm legal. I know I'm legal. But how do those accidents happen? You dig what I'm saying? So I just want all y'all to really follow what our laws are right now. If you in an open carry place, if you want to open carry, open carry. I don't agree with it, and I hate to say it, but it's the color of my skin. Because if I open carry, I'm an extra threat because I'm already black. You dig what I'm saying? I'm already black. So if I open carry, they're gonna look and they're gonna be like, oh, he got a gun and he black. I can go be buying some cauliflower. It don't fucking matter. I look like a threat. And I'm not saying that we should shy away from following the laws and being able to do what we're supposed to do, but we do have to sit back and think about how we move. So I conceal because I want you to have that same conversation with me that you would have if you didn't know I had a gun. Because guess what? I'm going to use these before I use that gun any goddamn. But we are subject, and I need my brothers and my sisters out there to understand. We are already subject to be looked at as a threat. We are already. Whether we know our amendments, whether we know the law, none of that matters. You have to, like my sister Candace said, use your words appropriately. Understand the situation you're in. And if you can get out of it, get out of it. And just go. It's not about ego. It's not about your mindset. It's not about none of that. It's about being able to get back to your family. Period. If you ever have to discharge a weapon, just understand and know there's something gonna follow. There's something that's gonna follow that. Okay? Know what side you want to be on. Because if you discharge that weapon, understand, just like Cabana said, just like Keela said, that is a destruction weapon. Like you're going to win. But guess what? It ain't about winning. It's about just get home. Be able to be that life force for your family. But if you gotta use your weapon, use it wisely. I apologize. I got the preaching and shit.
It's all right. It's not. Look, I would say take your time, but we don't have it. So.
No,
right.
I set myself off.
It's all right.
I was like, damn, G. I was like, damn, T. Tyrone Gregory, you going on, nigga?
Right. What I will say is this. I feel, well, no, let me give you a stat first before I tell you how I feel.
Because you have to.
In the month of March, 3.7 million background checks were run for gun ownership after COVID hit the United States of America.
Come on now.
That equates to about 2.6 million guns that were sold just in March.
Wow.
Okay, just in March. So I understand. I am not anti-gun. I am pro-gun. I am pro-responsible, legal.
Come on now.
Firearm carrying. Licensed, registered, trained, all of that. I don't care if you do open carry or conceal. It's totally up to you. Doesn't bother me one way or another. What I will say is that when you see numbers like that, and you see the posts on social media of people of all races stacking ammo, stacking weapons, I'm telling you, I'm not finna be caught in the closet during the purge. It's not gonna be me. It's not gonna be me.
You not coming up to this residence.
Right. It's not about to be me. So I will say, yes, be safe. Yes, be careful, but be smart. And don't let fear take away the power and the right that belongs to you. It's your girl Dizzy. What you got to say? We are. Love y'all. See y'all next Sunday.